Oh, I haven't got. Hello, welcome. I realise after all this, I actually got Adam present. Chatting away, and I completely forgot to add Adam. Let's play in pantomime style. Who wants to see Adam? Yeah, where's Adam?
Floating around out here, Clive.
He is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Get me in, mate. Get me in.
There's one thing you forget. It's usually small things, not like major things like your co-host. But ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Welcome.
He's so preoccupied with his bleeding Pac-Man background. He completely forgot me.
There we go.
Oh. Hello, Clive. Good evening, my friend.
1 second.
Oh,
you say that again. I muted you. Go on. Now you're messing with it. I know your trick.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. It's good that we spend 20 minutes just chatting rubbish and not actually concentrate on prepping the show.
doing
professionals like that.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Anyway, welcome, one and all, to the show. Always pleasant to have you here. Always good. Welcome to the 14th episode of the amazing Generation X Retro Gaming Show with me, Clive Ellenden, and
him, Rokk.
Yeah. We're your hosts, of course, in the show that, for the older gamers that have, let's say, leveled up a bit, have a few more XP points in this game called life than your average gaming whippersnap. You know, it's a young man's game.
It is.
Right. I hope we're all right. I hope we're not echoing out there or anything. Hello. Let us know if the sound is all okay. People in the chat, of course. Right. In this week's show, ladies and stuff, Echo on the Rock. Okay.
Echo on the Rock. Oh, no.
Is that a song?
It's where it should be. Most definitely.
That's that. Well, if I mute him, we won't be able to hear him.
I've probably kicking around in the ninja a few times.
Okay.
Mate, this is what I get every week. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It happens to me all the time.
You're muted.
See, when I get around to doing the ninja in my OBS masterclass, everybody will know. They'll know exactly where the pain points are.
Yeah. Oh, right. Where is that coming from? Your video is muted. My video is muted. In the room. Here's a missing. Here we are. Why have we got that? Right, there we go. You can sing now.
No.
Perfect. Why have I got two rooms open? Right. Just going to close that and risk it. Leave. Right. He's still on the screen. I'm still on the screen. We're professionals. Come on. Let's get this right.
No.
Okay.
It's the way it rolls, mate.
Coming up in this week's show, see, I'm a professional. Seamless there, you see. Coming up in this week's show, all the latest gaming news and the amusing and finally story at the end, of course. X Club 7 game review.
Yes.
Still don't get that. I know the X Club 7 bit, but just,
7 days, mate.
7 days. Games in the 7 days. We get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all good.
On this day in gaming history, I'm not sure I've got one. Never mind. And Generation X game, or as I'm going to be calling it now, Rokk keeps winning segment.
Yes, I've got another winner today, folks.
Yeah, I've seen it. But, okay. Okay. First of all, what's everybody been playing? Let us know in the chat what you've been playing. Always good to hear what you guys have been playing. Rokk, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been carrying on with the old Ghost of Tsushima. No, Tsushima. I must get it right. It's not Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Sushi.
It's Tsushima.
Dead fish.
Been playing with a bit of rice and dead fish, and it's growing on me, mate. I've got to be honest with you, but I've decided it should have been called Far Cry Japan.
Cry Japan, okay.
Yeah, because I think that's largely what it is. It's bits of Far Cry with kind of lovely HDR going on. But it's all right. It's growing on me. I don't think I've revised my 7 out of 10. I still feel
still sticking with the 7.
Yeah, still sticking with 7. Of course, today played Grounded, which is launched this evening. Well, I say launched. It's kind of gone official. So that's a bit good fun. Some Stadia stuff, bits and pieces, but not as much as I'd like to be playing at the moment, mate. If I'm honest with you, how about your very good self?
Well, we're going to come to Grounded. So I too dabbled in a bit of Grounded today. Orcs, which I've talked about yesterday on my show. How my son absolutely loves Orcs Must Die 3. It just loves sort of trying the different traps and the different tools and working out strategically how best to place things. And he's absolutely mullering it. Like I was stuck on level 3 struggling, and he's on like, I don't know, 6 or 7 levels ahead in one sitting. But yeah, he really likes it. And as I said yesterday, he was even sort of saying, oh, how can my friend get it? How can my friend get it? So I was sort of saying, you know, how to get it on Stadia and all that kind of stuff. And I've gone back to playing a lot of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which I struggled with a bit, not struggled, but I just got a bit frustrated on when I played it on the Xbox, when I think it was a free trial.
Okay.
But going back to it on Stadia and I think I haven't played a bit of Assassin's Creed and those sort of similar games where you go around and do side missions.
Yeah.
And sort of give it some time. And I'm quite enjoying it, really, especially with the AI characters, which I talked about yesterday as well. So I've been, doing that, and obviously PUBG as well. And looking forward to the new map update on PUBG, which comes at the end of this month.
It's
a couple of days.
End of this week, yes, a couple of days time. Yeah.
So that's mostly what I've been playing. Chat. Kelly saying Orcs Must Die. Yeah, it is great fun. Dazzadini's loving the background. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been playing zombie thingy, dead zombies,
zombie army.
Yeah,
I've got to go back to that. I'm halfway through it.
Me too. Yeah, I think we should hook up on it, mate, because I'm struggling to get through it as well. We'll be probably about the same place.
Probably, yeah. Can't remember where I am, but there's bit you sort of go in the water as well. You get into the water occasionally, and then there's zombies in there.
Yeah, you've got to go across. There's a big shark and all that stuff.
Yeah,
hanging down. Yeah, we're in the same
that's
place.
the one.
Yeah.
David knows a completed Metro Redux. Is that just in time for the pro game launch? A little bit of Osiris. Very good, very good. Right, should we crack on with the news? Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so in the news this week, so this is more tech related, but I think it's of interest. I think it's interesting. So Google's new transatlantic data cable to land in Cornwall. Google have announced plans here to build a new undersea network cable connecting the US, UK, and Spain. Now, this is a cable so Google are going to be incorporating new technology into this cable, which it claims is a significant upgrade to older existing lines, and it'll be completed in 2022. I'm still amazed the fact that they actually reel out like a giant cotton reel of cable. Like, it seems so old-fashioned, doesn't it? But you've got to do it, but they reel it out from one side of the Atlantic to the other, and then lay it, 8,000 meters under the sea or whatever in some places. It's just crazy. they've been doing this for like 150 years or whatever.
Google?
It's just no, not Google, but the actual laying of the cables. You know, they've been doing it since Victorian times, and it changed the world, arguably. But the interesting thing about this is that normally what happens is the telecommunications companies come together, and they do it together as one. So they share the cable effectively. So all the big communications teams share the cable. This is Google's private cable. And that's the key thing. So I think I've talked about it before on Stadium Monday Night Church show. The how, you know, Google have this private network. So the communication between their sort of nodes or their bases, their hubs, is much faster than if they just used, you know, public internet. So this is another example. This is sort of not the public internet, whereas other services and cloud services, many of them, they still got to send their data between, you know, via the public internet, you know, the public wires.
Yes.
And so that's where the big companies that invest in this infrastructure have a slight advantage, because they're building out their own private network to send their data exclusively on their own private cables.
Wow.
You live this part of the country.
Well, I was just about
to say, have you ever been down
to
to Bude?
Many a time, my friend. I can even beat that. They are indeed a client of mine.
What,
Bude Town Council.
Ah.
And I was just going to say, Grace Hopper, isn't Grace Hopper the lady that does all of the community stuff on Stadia?
That's a different Grace.
Oh, is it? Right. Okay. I just thought she's brilliant. They've named the whole internet cable after the lady in charge.
Amazing
of Reddit.
Grace.
Yeah. Amazing Grace.
The Amazing Grace. She's an American computer scientist and a naval rear admiral. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. No, Bude's about an hour.
Have you ever been to the shed where the cable comes out the ground?
I've been to the shed and had a beer, but I don't think it's the same shed.
Yeah. Oh. So you can go to I think it's in Bude or another place where the first sort of transatlantic cable, as I say, back in the day, back in Victorian times, 1858, whatever, comes out the ground on the beach in what looks like a bloke's shed.
Oh, right.
This is the key to bringing the world into the modern revolution in the 19th century. And it literally is a cable coming out the ground.
Potting shed.
In a potting shed. You can go there because it's a museum now, but it's not like a giant telecommunications building.
Yeah.
It's literally a shed with
How
this big fat wire.
How thick is the cable then?
It's
like a thickness of a bottle or something.
Like about the thickness of a bottle.
Yeah.
And you know, the other end of that cable, one is in Bombay or Mumbai, talking in Victorian times now. One is like in, you know, Mumbai or whatever. Yeah. And the other one is in Newfoundland. It's sort of, or New York way. Just unbelievable to think that they could lay these cables back in the day.
And why not use satellite then now? Why would you?
I think it's still faster.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To send it, I guess.
Because was it
more reliable?
Was it Facebook that were looking to put these big dirigibles, these kind of, you know, floating Hindenburgs? It was Google, was it?
Yeah, but I think they have. They've tried it in some parts of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to bounce sort of internet off and stuff like that. I think something like that. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting because we talk about Google, and we talk about cloud gaming and internet infrastructure. That, you know, they are big companies like this, especially Google, are building out their own private internet in which to send their traffic and avoid the traffic jam, as it were, of using joint company cables, which most companies use and rely on. But yeah, so they'll be digging that, dripping that. They literally in a big ship and they reel out it behind them.
Wow.
That's how it goes. like a giant cotton reel. Hasn't changed much.
I suppose in a way, though, if they're laying it themselves, or even if they're putting it out to contractor, you're just talking about most of that cost is in that cable.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, let's make it up. So let's say it was 5 million or 10 million. I mean, to then have your own network feeding off the back of that, the money that they make selling data services, that's nothing, is it?
Yeah. And they have to replace these every so often,
Amazing.
They have a lifespan of 25 years, apparently.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, well, because, it's got to survive earthquakes, heavy currents, sharks have bitten through.
Rats.
Some cables so internet has gone down in some part of the world because it's either been snagged or a shark's bitten through it. I'm sure I read that.
Wow.
There we go.
It's like caught in the net.
Yeah, exactly. Sharks. I'm not having that. Oh, look. Okay. Next, Rokk, you've got one. Okay, we're going to go to this. What's this to do with masks and everything here?
Yes.
Pull it up.
Bless him.
I was distracted by the breaking news.
Yes, I thought you'd like that though, so I popped it down. Yeah. Which is we'll maybe come to that, but yeah, no, this is. I mean, to be fair, it's a bit low tech. I mean, I got excited when I first saw it. I thought, that would be so good.
You went for the headline.
I did, but when I saw the chap's app, I realised that he hadn't put a lot of work into it. So in essence,
look at that app. Yeah, he needs to get a designer in on that.
It's not a lot. There's not. Bless him. So I think he's Korean, and he's come up with the idea of putting a little speaker.
Japanese company Donut Robotics.
It's Japanese, is he?
Donut. Donut Robotics.
Yeah, no, but it don't mean nothing in their country, does it? I mean, we've said this before.
Nice.
PlayStation and stuff, it's all, it's just English word soup for them, isn't it? It's just throw a few words in, see what comes out. But he's come up with this concept, which I think is really cool, actually, of a mask with a kind of speaker built in the front. And he's got his little translation app. So he does, I think at the moment, it's just Japanese. It's just a few languages in Japanese.
It's Indonesian, Spanish, Vietnamese, French, US on the,
Yeah. So he puts his words in and it gets sent to the speaker around his mouth. So it comes out of his mouth, which is great. So he can have a little conversation and it all sounds really natural.
So he's got so it's like Google Translate is in the speaker bit. Yeah. Like between a little microphone and the speaker bit in his mask.
Yeah.
Sits a sort of Google Translate thing.
Yeah. Which probably means that it's got more resistance to COVID than most, because it's literally got metal and transistors and malarkey going on there. And it wasn't too bad. I think it was about $40 or something. Which, I mean, you can pick up these masks right now for that if they've got Nike down the side or anything. So I thought, what a cracking idea, because you couldn't do it 2 years ago. You'd looked a plonker.
Yeah.
But now you can wear it and people think, he's doing his civic duty. Oh, and hang on, he's speaking to me in my tongue as well. And he's
like the old Babel fish.
Babel fish from Hitchhiker's Guide. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very good.
So I thought that was cool. I'd love to see.
You went for that news story because it was cool.
Yes.
Okay.
What other reason is there? Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I missed a point here somewhere.
Yeah. It's a game show. What is it?
Well, it's got an app in it, and if you could play.
If you put it into a headset.
Yeah.
And then why is shout obscenities at Frenchmen?
Hang on a minute. Why is your cable being dragged to Cornwall? Any more game?
Internet.
Yeah.
Gaming.
Speed
up gaming.
Yeah.
Right. Next story. Retro handheld analog pocket. So the analog pocket is a little machine that is a sort of a retro Game Boy. Effectively, it's a Game Boy. They're bringing it back. It's going to be $200, due for release next May. And as I say, basically what it is you put, if you've got any old retro game, any sort of Game Boy games and stuff like that. You just slop it in the back, and it's eventually a high-end retro Game Boy, but with lots more features. So the way they describe it, it's like, think of analog products, because they do. I think we talked about, they did a Super NT thing and a replica SNES thing as well. So what they talk about it is that analog products is like a version of buying a high-end record player to experience vinyl records the way they would have been back when vinyl was the gold standard of music. And now it's time for the handheld games. So that's their approach. So yeah, basically it's more than just an emulator. It plays Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. I had a Game Boy Color, and I also had the Game Boy Advance. I was going to get it out, but I forgot to get it actually. And it takes all those cartridges in the slot in the back. It has a 1600 by 1440 resolution LCD screen. And basically the technology inside, it's, as I say, it's not just an emulator software in there. It's a bit more advanced than that, so that you get a much more real experience. The technology in that replicates the original sort of technology that was in the Game Boys and the Game Gears at the time. But yeah, for the retro game fan, and it looks really stylish. If you look at that photograph there, the little charger.
200 quid, I want one.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I do like that sort of, yeah, it's got almost like Apple design.
I think it's really nice, genuinely.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite interested in this.
Yeah, if you're the sort of person that's got a load of old,
do you have to, is it cartridge based?
Yeah, it takes the old games.
Can you not download them and pop them in from
There'll be cartridge slot adapters, which will further expand the utility of the machine, allowing play of Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Atari Lynx titles.
Atari.
Pocket's display is made of Gorilla Glass.
Nice.
Gorilla Glass. It's a musical device too. It has a MIDI and analog sync cables. You can plug into your musical hardware and boot Nano Loop. Don't know what that means. That you'll use the iconic video games sound fonts for music production.
What was the resolution? 16 by 1440, did I see?
Yeah, 1600 by 1440.
So it's kind of slightly taller than wide by the look of it.
Yeah, but I think it's cartridge based.
4300 mAh battery, so it's got half decent battery.
Yeah.
10 hours in sleep mode, mind you.
I like its little stand.
I think it's a lovely little looking piece of kit.
Yeah,
I really do. Really like that.
One definitely for the retro fans there who want to get back into their old games. Definitely.
See that the bottom of the page there, Clive? Sorry, I'm watching you 20 seconds ago on YouTube. They've got loads of little photos, and one of them it's attached to, looks like a little tiny MIDI keyboard.
Yeah,
I've got that.
What, the little MIDI keyboard?
Yeah, I've got that.
There you are.
I've had
you can be able to play using the old game sounds.
Yeah,
that's the point.
Wow,
super cool.
Love it. Very nice.
Like that.
Very nice. Like that a lot.
Okay, I like this one. I saw this story. So this is about Doom.
Yes.
We love a story about Doom.
Yes.
And I also love the mix of crazy stuff that people do in Minecraft. So here we go. Take it away.
So I've never played Minecraft, Clive, but I was also intrigued by this one because it's got the Doom connection. So it turns out that you can now, there's a satellite apparently that's floating around Minecraft land, and you can download bits of a computer from this satellite and build a PC within your model worlds and install a full operating system. And I think it's Windows 95. So some spark discovered that not only does it work and works well, but he was able to install an early Doom that ran on Windows 95 into his emulated Windows 95 PC within Minecraft, which I think is amazing. So yeah, that's essentially the story, but it's a VirtualBox VM, so it's a virtual machine.
So I've seen people like do crazy stuff in Minecraft before,
Yeah.
like that, but never like, because I remember I played Doom 64 so a few weeks ago, didn't I? So, but look,
Yes, and it's essentially the same game.
Yeah,
and
but you're playing it within Minecraft,
within an emulated PC within Minecraft.
That's
So
mad.
it's just amazing. I was chuckling at the fact that there was a big advert of Buxom Ladies for Second Life. I was thinking, you can't escape that one, mate, can you?
No, I don't know what it is. It's your
It's
link.
haunting.
That's what I'm saying.
It's haunting.
Yeah. Oh, the bloody Second Life. What's that doing on there? Get away.
Brilliant. But that is so cool. So
yeah, that
essentially,
is clever. That is clever.
Run Windows 95 with all sorts of dodginess as well, I guess, viruses and the such.
Right, now we go to the Cassandra of all things Stadia. Yeah, the bringer of bad news. Yeah, he won't like it. I'm only teasing. Oh my god! All right, we were all having fun, enjoying ourselves.
Yeah,
especially Stadia Land, where we had announcement of pro games. But yeah, okay, I'm going to click on this link, see what it says.
It's fresh. This is oven fresh from Cloudy with a chance of games.com, who of course are very good friends, Duncan and Kelly, and they are in the chat this evening, I believe.
Oh yeah, Stadia does not have the user base to justify Fortnite, says Jim Sweeney.
Mm-hmm.
Quote. Oh yeah, so why isn't Fortnite on Google Stadia? Tim Sweeney, look at him. There's not a deep reason. We fully support Stadia in Unreal Engine, of course. However, the effort required to release Fortnite updates weekly in sync across 7+ platforms is extreme, and that makes it hard to add platforms that don't yet have mass market user bases. Fortnite is arguably yeah. So it's interesting actually, because actually I've never considered that before when it comes to Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
As we've discussed before with Fortnite, it's we discussed it last week. It's games as a service. That's the model that they use.
Mm-hmm.
So it's reliant on regular updates.
Yeah.
So they not patches, but actual new chapters, new things, new ventures, events on a lot more regular base than other games. That is their whole business model. So when you put it in that context, what he says about having to service, 7 different platforms, obviously the initial thought of having to service an 8th platform. I mean, it's bad enough if you're just doing a patch on one single platform, but then to have to update it, it's like, actually Google should understand that, because it's like them launching, on Android. That's got to be, Android's got to work on lots and lots of different platforms effectively. That's why you get a sort of a staggered release of the various upgrades of Android on each particular phone. So I think there's some analogy there, but it seems a shame. I don't think it will never come. Money talks, deals can be done. When it makes sense, it'll make sense. I can understand right now where it might not make sense to them. There may be other strategic reasons, given the fact they're heavily invested by Tencent, who we know are investing heavily in cloud gaming, especially in the Asia Pacific region. So yeah, there could be a number of factors at play, but on the face of it, the reasoning sort of makes sense if you're having to support 8 different platforms with regular updates and chapters and seasons, and all the content, given that that's their business model. In order to make money, you've got to keep the content fresh.
Yeah, it makes sense. I guess the sad thing is that it just adds weight to the negative cloud that says, oh, it's never going to happen. It's never going to get us. Nothing's coming to Stadia because it hasn't got the people, and therefore no one's prepared to build for it. But of course, the same could have been said and was said about Switch on launch, and it took more than a year for them to get any kind of motivation. So, you know, it's just currently we're not going to do it because it needs to mature as a platform before we're ready to do that, and that makes sense.
You've got to remember, and we keep forgetting, and I'll try to remind people, Stadia is only available in 14 countries. So we're comparing it with platforms that are globally available, or certainly available in a lot more countries than just 14.
Yeah,
that's the main difference. It's not about necessarily the take up and that, well, there's that, but it's more about, until they start, you know, they release it in South America or India, as we've discussed, and all that kind of stuff. And as we saw today, as I think Jem highlighted as one of the things, they're experimenting. They've got their experimental mode in Stadia for testing out 4G and 5G at the moment.
Yeah, it's live today.
Yeah, live today. So they're rolling that out. So that looks like it's gearing up for, give them opportunity to release in other countries that may have a better 4 or 5G infrastructure than they do an internet structure.
Africa and India.
Yeah, India. That's what I'm thinking of. You know, I know they have a reasonable 4G structure there, a lot of heavy investment.
Yeah. So, you know, okay. Disappointing for those.
Never say never.
But yeah, it's going to take another several months before we see anything of that kind of it. But you're right, it's to do with the iterations. I mean, I know Destiny is a game as a service, as is to a degree.
I think any free game sort of has.
Your sort of Warframes and those sorts of things. But they tend to have more of a 3-month cycle. With the odd event, whereas they Fortnite's kicking it out every couple of weeks, isn't it?
They have to. That's
keep the audience chomping up on the old
the business model they've chosen.
V-bits.
Okay, right. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the news and the views for the week from us. Thank you for Cloudy with the Chance of Games there for that breaking news.
Excellent.
Which is no doubt on Twitter. I did say at the beginning that we'd have the news and then the amusing bit at the end. But that wasn't the amusing bit. That was a slightly down a bit.
I was going to say, wasn't that the amusing bit?
No, that when we go, and finally,
yes.
and then like an amusing little anecdote.
Cat up a tree.
You know, a cat came down from a tree. Whatever. You know, but we'll go with that. Right. You know what? I didn't do it this time in gaming, but if you want to know, I could give you a whole range. Mario Golf, which very nearly was it going to be my game in my Generation game?
Was it
Generation X game today? Yeah,
very appropriate.
Very nearly.
Yeah,
that came out 17 years ago on the GameCube. Now I used to play Mario Golf on the N64. That was going to be my Generation X game. Little insight there. I used to love. There's a real satisfaction of hitting the ball on the green, putting it in, judging it right, looking at the wind. It had all the sort of. I mean, it was an arcadey golf game, but it had all the mechanics, and it was just really satisfying to play. But yeah, 17 years ago, Mario Golf for the GameCube came out. So there we go. That's my game of the past.
Yeah,
for today.
That's all you need to give them. Don't spoil them. Don't spoil them.
Well, 8 years ago, New Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan on the 3DS. Just, you know.
So you had to keep going, didn't you?
Yeah, I was looking at all these.
You will spoil them. I've told you.
I know. But there we go. That was on this day in gaming history, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, we come to the Generation X game. I love it. So I was just rolling the titles there, you see, my little Generation X game titles.
He's becoming a right little pro.
Right. This week, ladies and gentlemen, my game of choice is, before that, I remember. So, last week I talked about Bishi Bashi. Which didn't win. All right. No, don't rub it in.
It was good, though.
I thought it was very good. And how there was a spin-off set of games based around the office, a guy in an office and stuff, or some guys going to the office. And it reminded me of another Japanese PlayStation game that I was once shown by a producer at Lego Games when I worked there, which I always thought was hilarious. And I couldn't remember what it was. Well, I found some clips of the game. It was a game called Incredible Crisis.
Not salary.
Known in Japan as Tondemo Crisis. Tondemo Crisis. Huge Crisis. And it was on the PlayStation. Check it out. Now, copyright strike coming up, but I don't care because it's worth it.
Yes, it doesn't matter because we're not monetized on this channel, mate. I wouldn't worry.
Let me just get we'll probably get ads here. Bloody ads. Get the sound up. Let's see what the ads are first. Before we get the sound up.
It'll be a chair, mate, I'm guessing.
Oh.
Tyler with Brendan's help is writing an email to his boss, Anita.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Check out the sound of this. Check out the music in a minute. Yeah. So basically what this is, let's switch that up a minute. This is just one bit of it. I'll show you actually.
That is cool. It sounds like Buster Blood Vessel.
Yeah, look. Yes, exactly. And I'll come to that, why it sounds like Buster Blood Vessel.
Is it Buster Blood Vessel?
No, but you'll see. Yeah. Right, so so basically, love it. It's crazy, and I just love the concept of it. So basically, what happens in this is that it follows 4 members of a working class Japanese family on their bizarre adventures from their home, from their daily adventures, all to get a birthday present for their family's grandmother. So basically, they've woken up, had breakfast, and then they forgot it's their grandmother's birthday. So Salaryman's got to go to the office, and then he's got to partake in all these weird activities. Everything that could possibly go wrong at the office goes wrong. And it's a whole kind of series of mini games. So there's that one where he's obviously got put in an ambulance, and then in that, like all good comedy sketch shows, the ambulance stretcher thing that he's on falls out the back of the ambulance and starts rolling down the road while he's on it. And then you've got to avoid the roadworks. That's what that scene was. There's a bit where it's an office party, he's got to win the dance competition and stuff like that. And so each of the 4 members of the family have these crazy days where everything goes wrong. And it's all about, can they get past all these little mini games and then get a present for their grandma. But I just loved it. As I say, it's all these action orientated mini games with little pre-rendered cutscenes at the end of them. But the key thing here, so the music in it is by the Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra, who were one of the first ska bands back in the 80s to sort of set up in Japan.
Right.
So they were set up by veteran musicians at the time. And it's not the only game that they did the soundtrack to. So when you said to me, is it Busta Rhymes? That's why it's because it's full on ska.
I said Buster Blood Vessel.
Yeah, not Busta Rhymes. Yeah, completely wrong genre then. Yeah, Busta Rhymes. Yeah, Busta Blood Vessel, because it's this Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra.
Ska.
Anyway, I think that's why I liked it. The mix of the crazy idea of mini games in the office and then your everyday salary man having a crazy life and all of that. But that's what I was talking about last week. Tondemo Crisis.
Really good.
Tondemo Crisis. Anyway, that's not my game of the week, but that is our first copyright strike. And here comes the second copyright strike with, ladies and gentlemen, my game of the week. Here we go. This is after Cloudy with Chance of Games bad news. This will cheer us all up, hopefully. Check out who it was by, or who you won't be able to see it yet.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I've pulled it up.
I'll turn the music up so we can all hear.
Nice.
Get ready.
Oh.
Who cares about copyright strikes?
All together now.
Samba!
Yes. All right, come on, put the C in the thing. Just
come on. Samba the Amigo, ladies and gentlemen.
Drop the mic. I can't follow this up.
Yeah, Samba the Amigo from Sega. It was on the Dreamcast originally. I played it on the Wii. So, of course, it made use of the Wii controllers. And it's basically a rhythm game, a dance and rhythm game.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Yeah. And the characters and everything, they're just so cool. It was so such a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It would just give you a bit of the clip of the how it plays. But yeah, there we are. That cheered us all up. Here we go. So you can see. So basically, you've got to shake your Wii controller up here, or down at the side, or down at the bottom. Sometimes like that. Sometimes like that. You know, wherever the circles are indicated.
Let's try it all together.
And then you get ranked as well. A, B, C, D, whatever. And then you pick various songs and you do the challenges.
Wow.
Yeah. Just simple and everything. I think it was an arcade game. Then it was on Dreamcast. And then, as I say, played it on the Wii. And it was perfect for the Wii because of the Wii controllers. You just hold the Wii controllers in your hands and stuff. Yeah. So that is my choice, ladies and gentlemen. Samba the Amigo.
Very good, Clive.
Yeah.
Very good.
There we go.
But.
Yes, a but. Okay.
There is a but coming, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Because my game also is renowned for its soundtrack.
Music.
Yeah.
Shall I hit the YouTube first?
Unbeknownst to you and I.
Should we go YouTube first on this?
Yep. Let's do it.
I'll get the sound up for it.
Yeah, we've got multiple copyright strikes, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah, it's all right. Who cares? Entertaining the crowds.
Yes.
Bit of music.
I don't know that mine has the music in it, but
we'll see.
It certainly did in the game.
There we go.
Yes. Are we up?
Yeah, it's up.
All right, well, it's
don't know how long into it is. Here we go.
My game for today is Wipeout from Psygnosis, who then became Sony Computer Entertainment Liverpool. because they got bought by Sony. But this time they were still Psygnosis, one of my all-time favorite studios. Of course, they then come out with Wipeout, which is a cracking, futuristic 3D
the music in this as well.
Stunning music. Most of it was written by one guy, a Welsh fella called Tim Wright, who was went under the name of Cold Storage. But they had Left Field, Chemical Brothers.
Oh wow, yeah.
Had the full kind of cardboard box stuff going on. And so yeah, renowned for the music, which of course it from there on in, there were 5 of these in total. This was the first one on PlayStation. I think it's 95 it came out. And then they later brought it out for Sega Saturn, and then you could get it again in PS3, which I thought, I think I bought it on the PS3.
They did a recent version of it, didn't they?
Oh yeah, there's been 5. There was a recent one called, I think it's called Omega. Omega Collection, which looks amazing, full-on proper modern-looking, cracking graphics. But yeah, I mean, another game renowned for its music.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the music in this. Yeah,
they really took it out. So when you're playing, it's incredibly fast.
Yeah, that's what it was renowned for. Yeah. It's just its sheer speed. There wasn't another racing type game like it, I seem to remember, and just in terms of it seems quite leisurely here, but at the time it felt like, wow, this is faster than any other racing game I've ever played. And I guess with the music as well in your head, it makes it feel like going even faster.
And you had that whole thing with the physics, so it was quite hard to control because you just move it slightly and the physics would drag you off somewhere. And then of course you could fly over and land on a different track, and it was that whole kind of feeling of flight and the whole 3D thing and everything. So it worked a treat. I think it was multiplayer. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
I think it was like a co-op thing.
Co-op thing, yeah. It's certainly nowadays it's co-op. But yeah, it was just a great, fun, speedy, first, amazing first game for the PlayStation by Psygnosis, bless them. But so not much to say really. That's my game of the week, Clive.
Good one.
I feel deflated after Samba the Amigo. I've got to be honest.
No, that's because you brought some more music there. I'm just seeing what Psygnosis, Lemmings, Formula One. They went on to Formula One, 2001. But they got subsumed then, did they, into just Sony?
They got sad, really, because they got they were quite quirky. I mean, one of the things with this game was the poster had what was she called? Jo Cox, not Joe Cox. Somebody else, completely different individual. Sarah Cox.
Oh, Sarah Cox.
Yeah, in fact, I wish I hadn't said that, because the poster was slammed for the fact that she was covered in blood, and so yeah, it's kind of not a very clever poster. But anyway, yeah, they basically moved in and they kicked out a chunk of staff, which is a shame because they did have really great, creative, quirky stuff. But there you go. We still get Wipeout from it and some other things. I've got a feeling they also had something to do with, what's it, the game we were talking about last week? And he rode up. Yep. So Psygnosis, so they became SCE and are now Sony Liverpool, and still churning stuff out. But they were certainly there. They were big on.
They were really well respected. I remember back in the day, Psygnosis as the people do those sort of fast games.
Yeah. No, they did a load of Amiga stuff. Like you say, Lemmings was a huge game, huge hit. Still is, as we know. Still kicking around, so it was a good purchase for Sony, that's for sure. Yeah, but there you go. That's my game of the week, Clive.
Okay, then, ladies and gentlemen. So it's Samba the Amigo or Wipeout. Both good music soundtracks to it. Which one? So vote C for me, R for Rokk, and vote away, ladies and gentlemen. Vote away while I roll the. So you can't vote for yourself. I've told you that.
I voted for you.
Oh, you vote for me? Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine then.
I got told off for being nice.
Yeah, sorry. Handley with the R.
Let's see, they've come back. They feel sympathy.
Yeah, come on. Come on, chat. Vote away. Is it Samba the Amigo? Oh, see, it's all these old boys. Just boys. You're such boys. Such a bit of fun and bright and colourful life.
So, well, winning at the moment, though, mate.
Yeah.
Yoshida's yet to cast her vote. I wonder what she'll go for.
Oh, come on.
She might balance up and think, well, Rokk was kind to do a C. I might do an R.
Samba.
R.
Samba.
It's a great track. That's it. You've just had the kids' hour at the hotel in Marbella.
Yeah.
And they've been going around to the old chocolat, or whatever it is they're doing, and
the chocolate fountain.
Yeah, and Barbie, and then this guy comes on. Hello, everybody! We got to do some samba. Get the tequilas. That's it. We're all behind Clive doing the old conga.
Okay. I think it's another win for Rokk again. Oh, man, can you believe it?
Oh dear. I'm sorry, mate. But, you know, people aren't voting. What can I say? There's 10 watching, but there's only what? 6.
Yeah, come on, you got to vote. You can't keep losing.
Yeah, Yoshida. Woo!
No, Yoshida, you've got to vote for the game, not adding who you voted up for last week and evening it out. Not a meritocracy.
She's just being fair. She's just
Samba the Amigo, man. What is wrong with you?
Oh, brilliant.
Put some joy in your life. Oh. Right. Okay, well done, Rokk. Another good one. Okay.
Should have gone for Mario Golf, said David.
You should. Well, he
had a choice.
It's still in my back pocket. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Could turn up any week.
Brilliant.
Could turn up any week. Okay, we're going to go to the chat. If chat's working, let me have a look at chat. Of course, it's not working. It never bloody works. Let me see if I can get it triggered. But here we go. There we go. Look at that. It just needs a little push sometimes.
Yes.
Welcome, chat, into our lives, into the stream. Right. So here's a little thing I came across that we can have a little quick talk about. 22 worst PC games of all time. Let's see if you agree or disagree. Let's call it up. And we can discuss chat. So put your thoughts, chat, in the chat. There we go. Duke Nukem Forever by Gearbox Software, who, coincidentally, and I forgot to mention, ported Samba the Amigo.
No way.
Which I kind of saw the title flash up. I didn't realize. And I just thought, what? Gearbox? They do Gears?
I'll be
and that, obviously, they're one part of their development team ported stuff. So they obviously ported Samba the Amigo. But anyway, Duke Nukem Forever. You ever played Duke Nukem Forever?
I didn't think it was that bad.
According to PC Gamer here, they gave it 29%
Cripes.
in their review. After decades in development hell, I did seem to remember people. It was in development hell. Everybody goes, oh, when, because it was a really old school game originally, and so people were looking forward to a sort of what back then was a sort of a modern interpretation, 3D proper interpretation of it. Finally slithered into the world in 2011, courtesy of Gearbox Software, and well, it was worse than anyone could have anticipated. Hello, Lively Gaming, how are you? Dumb AI, uninspired level design, dated, deeply unfunny pop culture references. This is like, what's it, Sam?
Serious Sam.
But that's Serious Sam, but that's got its tongue firmly in its cheek.
Yeah.
And it was just boring. In hindsight, 29% is quite generous. So, chat, did anybody ever play Duke Nukem Forever? Next one on the list, Deus Ex.
Deus?
Yeah, Deus.
Deus
Ex.
Deus, mate. It's Latin. Deus.
Deus. Oh, my ignorance there. I do apologize. Deus. Deus Ex. No, sorry.
Yeah, nearly.
Deus Ex, The Fall. 40%. Anybody played Deus Ex?
Yeah, I don't remember The Fall, though. Might have missed me on that one.
Sloppy mobile port.
That's
right.
That's
well, that doesn't count.
Don't like
okay. Velvet Assassin. Don't remember that at all.
No, me neither. The stealth is bad, apparently.
Stealth is bad. Levels are dreary. I keep finding big watermelons in Nazi bunkers for some reason. What? Okay. Rogue Warrior from Rebellion Developments.
Ah.
Not the Rebellion of Stranger Brigade and Zombie Army 4.
Must be.
They pay, I don't know how much they paid Mickey Rokk to play the sweary protagonist in this thing, but it was too much. Truly one of the worst first-person shooters in living memory. Painfully boring, laughably short. That feels like it was rushed out. Big rigs, over-the-road racing. A legendary, awful game, perhaps best known for its meme-worthy victory screen, which excitedly states, "Your winner!" I'm taking that meme. Your winner!
That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah, that is a t-shirt. Your winner!
Love it.
Oh, dear. Okay, here we go. This is a game from Ion Storm. Daikatana. John Romero and Iron Storm's ill-fated first-person shooter. It's an easy target. But come on, how could we have a worse PC games list without it? Don't remember that one either.
Do you know the funny thing, Clive, is between Your Winner and Daikatana, I've got a big advert for Ghost of Tsushima. And as I scrolled down, I thought, bloody hell, they've squeaked it in as one of the worst PC games of all time.
Right, okay. Yeah, there's an advert for it. Oops. Boiling Point, Road to Hell from Deep Shadows. A small, scrappy, but wildly ambitious developer trying to build something on a scale that would make even a blockbuster studio's eyes water. A hilariously buggy open-world FPS that isn't quite funny enough to justify it. The patch notes, however, are hilarious, including police station cannot be destroyed by crossbow anymore.
Oh.
Excellent.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You've nerfed my crossbow.
That was the
I can't take
bit.
a whole police station down.
You cannot punch a police station down anymore.
Yeah. Oh, no, not Gearbox software again.
Oh, crikey.
Aliens Colonial Marines.
Struth.
Oh, turning H.R. Geiger's legendary monster into dumb FPS cannon fodder. This dreary, glitchly FPS is a poor attempt to create the magic of James Cameron's film. Shame on you. Rise of the Robots from Mirage.
Look at that.
It's hard to make robots dull, but this game manages it.
Wow.
The game only has 6 characters, and one of them is Loader, a fighting forklift truck.
Loader.
They've got a real top creative director on this, I can tell you that. Yeah. Limbo of the Lost. A point-and-click adventure became notorious after it was discovered that most of its assets were nicked from other games. Players started noticing, well, it is a thief's game. Players started noticing that its backgrounds were retouched screenshots from Oblivion and Thief, which led to further revelations of plagiarism. The game itself is pretty rotten too, but the musical number at the end has to be seen and heard to be believed. A musical number.
If you click on the red, you can see and hear it.
I'm going to say I have to find this.
I've just clicked on it. No, just click on the text.
I haven't. It's coming. It's coming.
Yes, I see their point.
Oh, no. Go on, Rita, baby. Now that sounds really groovy.
That is abysmal.
I tell you what, let's sing. Well, it's nice to see Brick safe and sound. After all he's been around, and in my view, he should be.
What the flip is that? Jesus Christ. That is horrendous.
There's even a guy in
levels.
Black Up.
No, he's a zombie, but yeah, he's not. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my Lord. Okay. Bad Day LA.
Brilliant.
Described once in PC Gamer by Richard Cobut as a one-man assault on his own reputation. A terrible, buggy shooter with a seriously malfunctioning sense of humor. Yeah, see, games where they sort of shovel in this sense of humor sort of seem to fail badly. Hatred. My whole life is just cold, bitter hatred. Monologues Hatred's emo protagonist as he prepares to murder a load of people in cold blood. It's time for me to kill, and it's time for me to die. Masters of Taste aside, because really Hatred is about as edgy as a perfectly smooth sphere. It's just a bad game. A repetitive isometric shooter with brain-dead AI that is ultimately forgettable. Messiah. Messiah had some cool ideas, actually. You play a cherub. What? You play a cherub who contemporarily possess guards. It wanted to be an action puzzle game set in a monstrous vision of the future. Unfortunately, dire controls, useless shooting, and punishing difficulty meant it's best skipped, even if you see it in a Steam sale. Leisure Suit Larry. Now, Leisure Suit Larry is a legendary in PC gaming terms. There's a lot to dislike about this dismal attempt to reboot the Leisure Suit Larry series, but the design of Larry himself, actually the original Larry's nephew, has to be up there. I mean, look at him. Hideous. You can't see. There we go. Hideous. But its issues run deeper, namely its embarrassing attempts at humor and atrocious minigames. There we go. See?
Yeah,
back to the humor again.
Yeah.
Then we got Star Trek.
I like this game.
What, this Star Trek?
Yeah, I played this one. I really enjoyed it.
A game about captaining a starship and exploring strange new worlds. Yeah, so this should be a game about captaining a starship and exploring strange new worlds. It's a game about crouching behind waist-high cover and shooting giant lizards. Yeah. This dismal third-person shooter is the worst kind of movie tie-in, and despite a valiant effort by Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto to sell the rubbish script, it's almost completely devoid of entertainment. Was it a direct spin-off of the new reboot of Star Trek then?
I don't know. Maybe I haven't played it. I don't remember playing a modern Star Trek. Last one I played was next gen one, I think, with Picard in it.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Animal.
Atari.
I'll forgive you if you don't know this, but
Pepper
Animal is the name of the mascot for Pepperami. I think I've just eaten my hand. You know that advert? I've just eaten my hand.
Rick.
Yeah. Rick.
Yes. I've just
Vivian, right? If you don't, so it's the Pepperami character from the adverts. Crashingly tedious point-and-click adventure game stars Aid Edmondson as the titular turd-shaped hero, who I'm sure is proud of this as his recent role in The Last Jedi. I don't think we'll be seeing an HD re-release of this anytime soon.
Interestingly, Aid Edmondson.
I'm a bit of an animal.
Lives up the road from me.
Does he?
Yeah, well, metaphorically speaking, between here and Bude. Let's put it that way.
Ah. On his way to the Cable Museum.
Yes, the shed.
The Transatlantic Cable Museum.
The shed at Bude.
South Park.
Yeah.
Now, this is not the good South Park game.
The recent one.
The Fractured But Whole.
Yeah.
The Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
I like it.
You're not 13. Get on and read the script.
I know. Thankfully, South Park now has two great games adaptations on PC in the form of The Stick of Truth and The Fractured Butthole. Fractured Butthole.
It just keeps on giving.
But along before those games came this rubbish snowball-throwing FPS, which had none of the show's wit, satire, or crucially jokes. Oh yeah, and the characters look weird in 3D.
It looks
Trespasser. Don't know that one.
Looks like Ark.
Yeah. You're a flappy arm protagonist in this Jurassic Park spin-off.
Flappy arm.
Yeah, like you got a floppy sort of first-person shooter arm coming out.
Yeah.
Lula 3D. This infamously bad game warns players that it features intense erotic scenes that may lead to choking, sweating, and rapid heartbeat. This should be live in your mum's basement. The reality is a mediocre third-person adventure laced with low-res, deeply unsexy 3D smut that admittedly has a pretty wild story. Okay. Afro Samurai. Now, I love the concept of this. Afro Samurai. Look at the characterizations there. That looks awesome. It's not often, but however, ladies and gentlemen,
yes,
it's not often that a game is so bad that the publisher pulls it from sale, issues refunds, and cancels the series. But that's what happened to this Afro Samurai sequel, which was intended to be episodic. Despite a great soundtrack, the combat is plagued by poor animation, a lack of depth, and a wonky camera. Only one episode was ever released, and you can't even buy that now. What a waste.
Looks like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. I just like that. What's that? That the guy looks like Dead Mouse.
Yes.
Sort of thing going on there.
Yes. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be.
Left Behind Eternal Forces. A real-time strategy game with a Christian message might sound like a soft target, but Eternal Forces deserves to be on this list because it really sucks real bad. Set in New York City after the Rapture. Take us. Whatever the game is trying to say is obscured by an abysmal UI, broken pathfinding, dense AI. And that's without mentioning its lazy racial stereotyping. Pray you never play this mess.
Wow.
And then here, our review non-applicable apparently. Mad Dog McCree.
Played this.
Have you?
Bloody brilliant game.
This on-rail shooter features some amusingly camp cowboy FMV, but it's also really tedious and barely interactive. You drag your mouse cursor over a bunch of out-of-work actors, a bunch of out-of-work actors in 10-gallon hats, and you shoot them before they shoot you. Clearly designed to be played by drunk people in arcades.
Yes.
Mad Dog McCree is not worthy worth the time on PC. Just watch someone playing it on YouTube instead. I can sort of see it as an arcade game.
Yeah, it was an arcade game. It was originally an arcade game.
Yeah. And what did you have one of those sort of plastic gun things?
Yeah,
the
and
cursor at the screen. Yeah, now that makes sense.
Went from cutscene to cutscene.
Yeah.
It was all a bit weird because it was obviously video at the time, and so you used to rubbish graphics in an arcade. And then it was quite odd actually watching real footage of somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, you shot me. Get you for that, boy.
My scared.
Monkeys.
Dirty dog.
yeah, musky.
But I like, you know,
amazing.
A few of those sort of interactive video type things at the time, I seem to remember. But why would you port it to PC? That's the main thing, and you use your mouse.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the fun is pointing a toy gun at the screen.
Yeah, but I think you could play this with one of those accessory guns.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think when it was originally
fun for all the family.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it had one of those with a great big thick cable attached to your Atari or whatever.
Oh, yeah. More cable coming out of Bood.
Yeah. That's it.
There we go. So you say you played that one. Lee says he played that one.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, some of those reviews are hilarious. Actually, well worth just reading the reviews. But there, I just thought I'd share that. Let us know if you agree, though. Let us know if you played any of those games, any of that. Yeah. So, Leisure Suit Larry. That was the original one. Was quite famous. The PC game.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, massive game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my kind of game, but it was very popular.
Yeah. Actually, talking of the video games, wasn't there one like a really bad taste one, murder at some girls' dormitory thing?
What, Leisure Suit Larry?
No, using the video, the video, sort of using video cutscenes.
Proper. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's
it's quite
scary.
famous. Yeah.
No, I mean there was the one we talked about last week or the week before, which was it came on a massive video disc.
Oh yes,
player for it. I forgot what it's called now.
Oh, keep forgetting, don't we? The Dungeons and Dragons.
Funny. That's right. Like a Disney animation sort of thing.
By a guy who used to work at Disney.
Well, explains that one then.
Come on, somebody mentioned it in the thingy.
I think
Night
Dave...
Trap. Maybe that's the other one.
What, the one you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Right.
Have a quick look. It was quite controversial. It was actually it did everything that let the sort of the stereotype of gamers being young adolescent 14-year-olds who just love to see scantily clad women and all that kind of stuff. Back in the 80s and that image. Here we are. Look, I think this is safe to show. Let's get it up first. Ooh, that's what she said. Now,
you've not only got a copyright strike, but it was...
another Sega one. I'll turn it down. Okay. So it had, so it's got these, these real sort of film scenes in it as part of the game. Don't know what he was doing there. And obviously you can select on the different rooms.
Oh, okay.
But it's like I won't go just any further just in case, but it's like a girls' dorm and some mad killers going around there or something like that. That's the idea.
Talk about out of work actors.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a job for you. Hello, is that my agent? Yeah, got a job for you.
Because the thing is, they probably use
some money.
Do you remember back in the day, Clive? I forget the name of the application now, but it was something like it was like a precursor to what was it called? Something cards, and you could use it to put media files together. It was kind of even before the web.
Yeah,
and it was like Hypercard. That's what it was called.
okay.
And you created stuff like that, so you could pull in video and and layer up stuff and create your own little sequences and press this and it goes to that and stuff. And I think a lot of games came from that application.
Yeah,
because I always remember thinking, oh, Hypercard. Now we've got hypertext markup language. I wondered if the two were connected, but they very clearly weren't. But
Hypercard. There we go. David in the chat there is saying Night Trap Sega CD question. He's thinking about it. This was re-released in the last year or two. Really?
Oh wow!
It was a sort of retro game rather than because it's any good. It's sort of significant cultural game, not significant cultural, but an example, I think, of a controversial game from the back in the day. She just says, "Rokk, is that your new chair?"
I wondered if she meant, is it squeaking?
Can't hear it.
It is my new chair.
Can't hear it.
No, it's there. Yeah.
What was that stupid game we're talking about? I've played it. Somebody mentioned it last week with the animation where it's like a comedy night trying to find some dragon or something.
What? Not the one I was just talking about.
Yeah, you're the one you were talking about. It's bugging me now.
Oh, right.
I'm sure somebody mentioned it last week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. See, look, I've just come up with the article on Hypercard, and it actually says Hypercard is a software application and development kit for Apple Mac and Apple IIgs computers.
Wow.
It is among the first successful hypermedia systems predating the World Wide Web. Hypercard combines a flat file database with a graphical, flexible, user modifiable interface. So you could literally use it to string content together and create that kind of stuff. Hypercard. Because I used to play with it, and then the web came out, and I thought, oh, you could actually build websites with Hypercard.
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair. Oh yes.
Do you know how I found that?
Google.
The power of Google, right?
Yeah.
I put in
Dragon and Knights video.
Interactive animated game dragon.
Ah.
And that's what it came up with.
Perfect.
Yeah. This was like famous because of its the cartoon, as you say, the animation style.
Very Disney.
Yeah, Don Bluth. So he did Mouse Once Upon a Time.
Somewhere out there.
Yeah.
Dreams can see us.
So I think he was an ex-Disney thing, and then he went out himself. Spielberg hired him to do a mouse, whatever it's called.
It was a Mouse's Tale, which the Mouskovitz family.
Yes, that's the Mouskovitz, and they were immigrants into America,
Eastern Europe, in New York, and he was looking out. It was that lovely little track. He was looking out the window, and he was thinking, somewhere out there. And she was in the other little, and she was thinking the same thing, and they were looking at the moon, and it was so exciting.
This is really clever, though, at the time, to actually use animated, proper animation rather than the computer animation at the time, because it wasn't capable of doing this.
No. Arguably, even today, you'd struggle to get high quality Disney-esque graphics at this level that you actually control. I cite Ghost of Tsushima as an example of where it goes wrong.
Really?
But you had to buy the Laserdisc and the Laserdisc player, so it was never going to be a commercial success.
No. But nowadays, obviously, people do stuff in the style of like a cell shading or whatever. That's the power now.
Yeah.
But, correct computer graphics don't have to look like computer graphics as we might stereotypically think of them. It doesn't have to look like CGI. It can be cell shaded. And I remember years ago, the company I worked for, and we were working on an animation for a kids show.
Yeah.
And at the time it was a debate about doing stop frame animation and using CGI. And at the time, the CGI just still felt a little cold. Whereas stop frame animation from Cosgrove Hall, who made loads
Danger Mouse.
Yes, and Charlton and the Wheelies.
Charlton and the Wheelies.
Yeah, hello,
Jamie
pretty
and his
lady.
magic toy.
The witch. There was a witch in there. And oh, hello, pretty lady. Want a cup of tea, pretty lady? Anyway, Charlton and the Wheelies, back in our youth, and all that. So they're famous for their stop frame animation, their animation. And we went with them, and it's beautiful because it's timeless. But then now you can recreate that stop frame animation. And an example is, using computers, is the Lego movie.
Oh, it's amazing.
The Lego movie is, they programmed in the sort of slight defects in the plastic and sort of slight fingerprints that you might get on if somebody had, turned the character, and the movement isn't smooth. So the movement obeys the laws of a real mini Lego figure. And originally, when you first saw it, it looks like, oh my God, they've actually animated the Lego minifigures.
Yeah.
But of course, it's all CGI. But it's not the old way. Having worked at Lego, it's not the old way that they used to sort of do a CGI Lego movie. Whatever. There's a load of Lego Star Wars movies, which are like little short comedy satires on the real Star Wars movies, but all done in Lego figures. But it's sort of CGI characters, whatever. But the Lego movies look like they're actual minifigures and they're actual bricks. They don't look like CGI versions of it. So nowadays you can create that, stop frame model texture, and sort of make it feel real. There's something about the actual still using plasticine and stuff like that Aardman do and all that kind of stuff. But even them, they integrate CGI in the background and stuff like that.
But the Lego Batman movie used real bricks. Apparently, it used a library of 3,180 different bricks, a crew of 500, and 9,153 days to complete. It would take one person 25 years to animate this movie.
What, using bricks?
Yeah.
I don't think it did. I think they used the same because it was the same people.
Animal Logic.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing films.
They are great.
Talk about humor. The humor is just on point. And you can watch them and still pick out little bits and pieces. And the Batman one was also in 3D, wasn't it, as well?
Well, yeah, so they look like they're, oh, I see what you mean, in 3D.
3D glasses.
Yeah. So the Lego Batman, it was the same. Uses an impressive style of animation that replicates the look of real Lego bricks. These digital bricks abide by all the rules of the real Lego bricks. They cannot bend or move. So traditionally, the leg movement, when they sort of made little CGI stories of Lego minifigures, the legs bent a bit and stuff, like curved around and stuff. But for these, they obeyed the laws of the real Lego bricks. And as I say, the slight defects of the plastic and everything and the way the light bounces off that is all put in. But yeah, that's how they made it. What I love is
stop motion. Love it.
is the so they use CGI to give that stop motion look offend. But I love one is the loneliest number in the Batman movie. One is the loneliest number. Just be on there.
They're just amazing.
But yeah, great movies. Great movies.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome. Exactly.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
That's the one I've got that on DVD. Yeah. I'm gonna go watch that again.
I love the first Lego movie because it's a brilliant political satire in the first sort of opening sequence.
There's stuff in there that you've got to go and watch it a dozen times and pick it out. Like the airplane movies. You can watch them over and over, all the Blazing Saddles, and pick up jokes that you didn't spot first time around. Just thick and fast. They're masterpieces. They really are. They do very well.
Very good. Well, there we go, chat. Thank you for that. We've had a fair old little trip all over the shop today.
We have.
Once again, Rokk comes out a winner with his Wipeout. In fairness, when I saw that, my heart did little sink a bit. Because it's a cool title. It's a cool title.
I even voted for you, mate.
I know. I
tried.
I did see it. But anyway, well done. Thank you, chat, for being here. Thank you for spending your time. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit those likes, because that all helps. And if you're new here, of course, hit subscribe. We're here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. It's Generation X Retro Gaming Club. Yes. And on that note, it's goodbye from me, Clive Illenden.
And it's goodbye from him, Clive Illenden.
It's goodbye from the Generation X Retro Gaming Club. Goodbye.
See you next week, folks.
See ya.